Like, maybe not in laning phase, not necessarily, but certainly in objectives, both sides will be able to at least not stall out and should be able to contest like tier 2s into high ground fairly nicely.
I feel like you're just taking shots at Aurora there, John. That's what it feels like to me.
No need to
oh,
take shots when they're gone.
I mean,
No.
I'm not going to lie to you, John. I agree with everything you just said. It was yesterday was a real interesting time with those games we were watching. Nevertheless, Neon Esports versus Bleed. This is the matchup we're here for today, John. Don't worry about yesterday. Yesterday's gone now. It's a thing of the past.
So many good things happening today, Mike. We've got
It
these
certainly
matches.
is.
We've got VTubers streaming Dota2, so we're gonna get more players in because they're watching their favorite streamers. This is great news.
How do you know these VTubers, John? I thought you had a few standards. It's just every time I talk to you, it gets worse and worse.
I just saw it on Reddit and I was like, oh sheesh, I didn't know these VTubers were gonna do Dota. That's great. It's great.
It sounded like you knew exactly who it was. Like you watched.
Nah, I
them
have
as
no
a
clue.
fan.
I was watching the stream. I have no clue who any of them are, but it's pretty cool.
I believe
You know,
it, John.
get those players in. More players with anime profile pictures. Let's go. Says the guy with an anime profile picture.
Not me, that is you. Just to ensure everyone understands what you're trying to say, John. That is not me with an anime profile picture. So
Hey, you weren't
Bobby,
speaking, Mike. I'm speaking. Right?
You are, John. 3 for 1 on the bounty rune trades here, so Bleed already getting off to a pretty damn good start, as we are going to have to look at that atrocious Jensen. My god. That's a Wild Wing Ripper he's taken over, John. My goodness.
I know it looks like a mistake.
It is a
looks
mistake.
like a biological mistake. It looks like
This is from Full Metal Alchemist, John. That's Chimera Nina, I want to say. And I know you haven't watched the anime, John.
I think I know the reference. That's quite the reference for that one. But yes, it's something else. At the very least, the mid lane's not as disgusting. You've got Ken up against Mikado. Again, the Kunkka should have a pretty good time here playing with Tidebringer, but Ken isn't completely out of play with Resonant Pulse. It's just much more efficient for Mikado to trade blows. Although once the shield comes out a little bit more, it's going to be a little bit tougher for Mikado to trade. But this one's down to positioning. Ken's just going to have to watch every single time Tidebringer's ready. Mikado will just basically win out. And it's just going to set to get worse. Once you have level 2 Tidebringer, it's going to be even rougher for Ken here.
It certainly will be. Already both heroes quite low, but Makoto just waiting for that level 3 mark to really get started with the damage output. Of course, in the side lanes, bottom lane, we do have Polison and Jackie against Bombi and JG. I don't really see too many kills happening here, really, right? Like, maybe you kill Polison if you do catch him off guard with a spear, but ultimately it does feel like a very kind of farm-orientated lane, and I really can't see Jackie dying, right, on the lifestealer. It's going to be quite challenging to take him out.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty tough. He is durable enough. He is going to... You don't tend to see the early rage points, so there's an opportunity to try to jump, but even then, way too much HP, not quite enough burst on the side of Neon. Maybe if you literally land all your techie spells at level 3, like say Blast Off plus Sticky Bomb, connecting directly onto Jackie, and he goes greedy without rage, but otherwise, you're just going to be satisfied farming up here. Should be some good harassment coming out from JG though, as the Lifestealer won't enjoy getting God's Rebuke every few seconds. Still having the chance to look up top, you do have Chidori and Castaway laning up against DJ and Masa. And this lane's fairly straightforward for the Luna. You've got a really good right-click support that benefits off of the Lunar Blessing quite nicely. You've got decent enough hold with a Sprout, although you do have the early calling from Masa to hold off on that. Good snipe from DJ, already being really annoying on the Bounty Hunter, and is trying to maintain the blocks on the camps. So you're not going to have easy access for Castaway to fix lanes, which means Masa's going to be happy enough to just Shikuchi around and find that stable form he'd want, find the EXP to start building up. This is a little bit more passive from Bleed, which you don't mind too much on the side of Neon, as you kind of want to farm up as well.
Even attempt here on the CDR, but DJ's going to take a hell of a lot of damage on the way out. Nice little sentry placement there from Castaway to ensure that DJ cannot do whatever the hell he wants in this Bounty Hunter. I know we saw Bounty Hunter core yesterday. I want to say support Bounty Hunter, in my opinion, does feel pretty damn strong at the moment. It's one of those heroes that just allows you to snowball out of control. And as a bounty player, John, it does feel very strong in this current meta.
It is. It's because of the emphasis on laning and early mid-game fights. Crack can snowball you pretty hard. in its presence in lane is pretty nice. The stun being tied to Shadow Walk kind of changes its utility as well. So you have a lot to play with on Bleed. The one thing is that you have 2 Invis heroes, so there is a lot of economy that has to be brought out from Neon, but it's highly valuable. Like every Sentry and Dust you buy potentially catches you 2 heroes, so it doesn't feel as bad. Bombi going pretty far.
He certainly goes quite deep to try and catch Polison with a blast off. Obviously no real kill potential there. He was just trying to get the creeps of Polison. Still trying. Jackie's going to just kind of force him away as Polison just going to really harass the crap out of Bombi. Bombi actually trying to rush through the tree line to juke them out. Let's go for another sticky bomb, but is going to be okay. It is a relatively challenging lane for a techies. Like, all the damage you're dealing just does nothing by the looks of this mid lane. Nice torrent dodge here from Ken. It's going to be fine for now, though Makoto is still trying to go in for some more damage. But is going to have to eventually let him go. But this is the stage now where Makoto is going to be just super annoying on this conk.
Yeah, you've got the level 3 Tideburner, you've got the X set up for your Torrent. You do have a little bit more durability with the level 3 Resonant Pulse as well, but again, the uptime for Makoto is a lot better. Still, Ken is not too far behind in CS, which is some good news, and his level 6 isn't going to be too far behind from Makoto, so he's going to have some play here.
I'll be desperately trying to get in range for a blast-off attempt here onto Makoto, but just could never really get there. It's a bit too obvious as well, because he did fill up the bottle of Ken, of course. Nice Aether Remnant. He's going to land, but the blast-off is off the mark. Bobby, he tried to go for the sticky bomb throw first, and it does cost him.
You always have that self-top-up for Makoto now with the XTP, so he's going to be perfectly fine heading back into that lane without even needing a support rotation. They can hold steady, and with that movement out, with JG left solo, I mean, he's just forced to try to pull the wave back, grab what he can. But Paulson's presence has just been a nuisance.
It's so annoying. He's got the Harpy Stormcrafter plus the Satyr Mind Stealer, so it's just the most annoying creeps he's got available to him now, and it's just... to sit in the lane as a Mars against these creeps is not going to be very fun. That's for sure is. And he's not having very much fun right now. DJ rotating over, though. DJ dropping low himself. Gets a nice Aether Remnant, but the Torrent is going to land perfectly from Makoto. Still, they do get first blood. Castaway able to secure the life of DJ before he loses his mid. I suppose in some sense you could call that kind of worth for Neon, but overall I'd say it's still pretty bad losing your mid lane.
Definitely so. Pretty nice pickup for Bleed to find in exchange. The EXP trade, though, is the bigger part. Like, DJ dying first does mean that, again, he's not soaking into that 6 as fast as he'd want to, which is not the worst bit of news, but also not ideal for the bounty hunter who does need those levels up. You've got 6 up on Ken now as well. He does have his steps ready. Did use 1 step a while ago, couldn't quite fully step away from the X-Torrent, but is going to be a lot harder to lock in now. So you have that thing for yourself here. Starting to gather on top.
Yeah, the try from Masaros, though Polison does show up. Keep in mind the 7-minute Wisdom Rune is about to respawn. Or about to spawn, rather. Castaway does have teleport ready to go, so it seems like DJ is going to make it there anyway. But the teleportation will come in, and I believe DJ, he has missed time. Castaway playing very well here, and DJ, he's got no way to stun him.
Feed the tree.
He will just TP away, and that's a huge loss here for the side of Bleed, as the supports of Neon going to be feeling very good about all that extra XP.
Admirable.
Yeah, I mean, just denying his level 6 timing for both Paulson and DJ is massive. Like, Paulson has more EXP than DJ with how often DJ is sneaking away on the map. So, 6 timing's going to be stalled. The connections for Makoto not going to be as clear just yet, although they are rotating bot here with Makoto. JG doesn't quite have Arena up yet. Still a relatively tanky target to try and jump. And Tower is fairly close by here, but...
Torrent, oh, it's barely off the mark. Right on the edge for JG. He turned around for a spear and almost walked right into it. DJ's going to keep up the vision for his team. Bleed are going to try and capitalize with this position by going for the bottom tier 1 tower instead. Neon trying to slow this down as best as possible, but it's going to be rather tough against this many heroes. JG continues just throwing spears out. DJ will continue giving the vision over on this Mars and Techies, as now Makoto is going to rotate in, looking for an X-Back but can't find it. Instead, he will go onto Bombi. They'll have to accept the simpler kill in the Techies. they will miss out on JG. Now Ken's rotated right onto Jackie, and Jackie's gone. Oh, that is not good news. Ken just completely blows up the lifestealer. He'll be able to get Makoto out of there, I think. But Bleed, they lose a huge target in the lifestealer, and well, they don't even find the bottom tier 1 tower.
I mean, it's really good positioning out from DJ. It's just level 1X is hard to set up for on Mikado, who can't quite get the reach he'd want to start that fight off in the same way. I do also really like that Chidori sees this opportunity to leave top, heads down bot, get some activity out for his team, utilize the Lunar Blessing to get a lot more in the right-click trades as well, and just kind of move around the map. You know, this is a big change from how Chidori used to play when he was on SMG. It was much more camp a lane, and his team would rotate onto him, but he's looking for a little bit more. JG?
That's getting hit by Jackie, so the slow is going to kick in. Castaway, though, going to get a nice body block off onto Jackie. Ensuring JG does survive as Ken's going to rotate once again, forcing the infest onto DJ. Ken, though, he's not done. He wants Polison. Did have an Astral Step available, but just not confident in using it up against 3. But he does ensure that JG and Castaway both remain alive here against Jackie.
This is still a ton of space being bought out by Bleedo. Masaros has free reign up top with Chidori leaving that lane. Level 7 on the Weaver has the urn ready if he just gets the connection and starts to melt some heroes. Diffusal not too far off as well. Like, all these movements from Neon down bot, while it does save them from losing heroes, it is a lot of space to give onto Masaros, who's ending up being like almost like a secondary carry here.
That he certainly will be. It's classic Masaros offlane gameplay, just, having that secondary position 1. They do take the top tier 1 tower. Kodo will rotate back into the mid lane to ensure that does remain defended, as Ken is going to get hit by a torrent, and no, the boat doesn't quite land. Ken unable, rather able to get the dissimulate off in time.
Did you think it was yours?
With that, I mean, Neon still doing a pretty damn good job, but the net worth certainly going the way of Bleed Esports right now, as all 3 cores of Bleed at the top of the net worth graph, and doesn't seem like it's going to slow down anytime soon either.
Now, it's going to take some time for Chidori to start to hit that point where he is a threat in front, so he's just going to have to sit back and farm. JG as well does manage to finally hit his level 6, is going for the Vlads. Again, just stacking up the auras to buff everyone up, but that means your blink is going to be delayed. You won't have that easy initiation to follow through on Ken. Ken's the only one that can playmake right now, but he has no connections with any other cores. You could try with the supports. You've got the burst on Bombi with the prox mines. It's just risky with how durable the side of Bleed is. Like, even making this move onto Mikado doesn't seem feasible with 1.4k HP with just the one bracer. More than enough to sit through most of that damage here.
They try again, but there was no Aether Remnant to lock him down, so Bombi's not going to land with the blast off, and DJ is around to help out anyway. Makoto, though, he is dropping very, very low and might just go down to Ken, and he is gone. Ken able to secure 1. He wants another, though. He'll chase down DJ, but he doesn't have any Astral Step charges. He has to look the old-fashioned way with an Aether Remnant, but it will not land. Now Masaros rotating, going in onto the Void Spirit, though Ken's still trying to fight this one out. We'll go back on a DJ, hoping for another kill. We'll try, but won't have enough damage. Still will be able to TP away. I appreciate Ken really playing on the edge, and he does buy enough space for his team to take down the T1 mid tower. So even DJ is not out of the woods yet. Bombi almost finding a kill with the sticky bomb, but it wasn't quite enough. Still Neon. With that mid-tier 1 tower going down, I'd say they're going to be very happy.
Yeah, they would be. They open up space to start to invade a little bit more. They feel comfier just playing around. Your triangle access points are kind of cut off. They've got some good stacks built up here as well. That's for JG to clear out, try to hit this timing into the Vlads or the Blink. I'm a little bit surprised that the response from Bleed wasn't quite there. Like, there's no TP in Paulson. You can show up mid, try to just get some buffs up, get some debuffs to try to buy some space for Mikado. Masaros coming in is nice, but he doesn't quite have his items fully up. He does get the emails from out now, but not even having the urn charge as well means that his presence doesn't do much to dissuade the side of Neon. And Neon, well, we've seen this from them yesterday. They just take these opportunities every single time. They see action come out, Ken comes in, and then Castaway TP's on top. Everyone starts to connect to that area. Trying again.
You're trying with the DJ. Kodo's going to spot out Castaway though on the tree line. Still, DJ is still being hunted. Boat will fly to help out. That's a big boat from Makoto. Landing on 2. They'll take down Castaway, they'll protect DJ. Ken, probably going to regret his choice to try and move in for that kill as he's going to go down. Even Jackie rotating to ensure they secure the kill. Now Bleed Esports, they can look to trade the mid-tier 1 tower. And it seems as though Neon cannot do too much about it. It's gone.
And that's where you see the durability of Bleed kick in. Both the Hand of God coming through for these tanky heroes. It's not enough for you to try to burst them down here on Neon. And Bleed, this was the kind of response we were looking for in that tier 1 defense. Comes out a little bit later. They do have their TPs ready this time. And it does work out. They even up map control, taking out that mid-tier 1. They already took top earlier with how often Masa was left alone. And bot cleared out as well. They can start to invade really nicely on Bleed. Start to try to spot out some of these stacks and take away the farm.
It seems like Castaway. I mean, it's worth his life. He does get the Wisdom Rune steal again. The 2 Wisdom Runes again going the way of Neon Esports, and maybe he can get a deny, it'll be even more worth it. He goes for the Sprout and the Torrent, but no. He is down. Makoto will be able to secure the kill. Still, I mean, you found all 4 Wisdom Runes so far in this game number 1, so I dare say it's pretty well worth it, him dying there.
Yeah, you don't mind. Again, you're cutting off the EXP timings for DJ. He is level 6, but even Castaway's level 8 right now. Bombi's level 9 off the back of all of the action and the Wisdom Runes going off. So you're more than happy with the trades. Ken just jumping onto Jackie, playing poke a little bit. Jackie starting to hit really hard with just the Javelin, Armlet, and the Orb Corrosion up. And this Lifestealer is going to be your main issue. The Lifestealer and the Kunkka are really just heroes that you don't have clear answers for in terms of burst. And you're not going to have any answers for a long time until you have stronger initiation outside of just Ken. We aren't going to be seeing that blink on JG anytime soon. Bleed with a wraparound up top here.
Yeah, sadly they're only going to find Bombi, so actually JG's going to TP in. Try and help out, but Bombi is as good as dead by the seams of it. He'll drop the arena. Bombi's still trying to survive. Does get the blast off up in time, and Ken is going to rotate as well. Trying on Makoto. The Kunkka's dropping extremely low now and should go down, and does. That's a great trade for Neon. Masros coming back in, but he's gone. Oh, CDR with the Eclipse. Right on the edge. Takes down Masros. Takes down DJ. Oh, what a terrible fight for Bleed. Even Jackie's been left behind. He'll try for the Rage TP away, and it seems like he's going to be fine. But a 3-for-1 trade. I thought the rotation from JG was terrible, but it all ends up working out.
It's the reads from Neon. They see this opportunity around the tier 2. Again, a very forced fight from Bleed. Just literally diving the tower with a creep wave, trying to find a kill onto a techies, and cost them everything. Great recognition as well from CDR to just come in with the Eclipse. He does have the maxed out Lucent Beams, so a lot more damage coming out there, and Paulson just gets run down by the mines, as you would expect on the good old Chen.
It's kind of the nice thing about this techies, right? Like, if you land the initial blast off, and you're really quick with your fingers on the proximity mines, you just guaranteed kill the support. Like, there's no way they can survive it. They can't get the mines in time.
And you also have a lot of protection for Bombi as well to guarantee that he can get that initial volley off. Got the Pavis going for his Solar Crest coming up soon. Neon, off the back of all of these kills, have managed to equalize a little bit. 6-7, 2K lead still stands for Bleed. And most of the net worth equalizing on Neon is just on CDR, but Ken and JG are starting to get some work done. Vlad's up on JG, Blink coming up next. That initiation starts to become easier and easier for Neon. Ken, he's got his Echo Saber ready. A little bit more damage being pumped up by that Void Spirit. They're still hanging around that top area here on Bleed. And Ken is scouting around.
Ken is having a look around. Castaway going to TP in as well, but will not find anyone quite yet. They're having a look around for Masaros, who does show up now taking the Watcher. But Masaros, he's just going to be able to continuously Sakuchi away. Castaway's still chasing. He's eventually going to run right past him. Gets the dust off, and now Ken's going to jump in. Masaros in danger now. No, Jackie is going to show up to help out. Godrana Ken. Can they get a stun off in time? No. DJ does not manage to get the hit off. I believe he was waiting for the Shadow Walk to kick in to actually go through with the hit. It just does not see the timing.
Rather unfortunate. Really deep dive. Well, not that deep of a dive from Neon, but good response out from Bleed. Does give them an opportunity now for the Roshan. With the damage they have on Jackie, And the minus armor they can get with the Swarm onto Roche, it's not going to take too long. Heck, they don't even need a Swarm. Neon, no vision in the area. Should know something's up with that big clump up, but the response time is just not going to be quick enough. And with a secondary life, Bleed can now start to consider the bigger team fights. Consider pressuring onto the tier 2s. They can take point with Jackie if they wish. They will play it conservatively for now. Mikado just opting to repair his lane on mid. But Neon, look at this. They know Roche was just taken. Only one TP showed. Could try to make something happen, but Mikado just plays it safe. Still, I do appreciate this kind of plump up from Neon, right? Like they're instantly responding to an area where they see a hero on the map. Their map isn't the most well lit up map, but they'll try for a smoke anyway.
They certainly will. Through to the west, or rather the east they go. They're going to find DJ on the bounty hunter who does break the smoke. Double dust being used just in case they miss out, and DJ will go down. Not quite the kill they wanted, but they will have to take it. I think Bleed will be pretty happy seeing DJ die for that big smoke. Everybody else on the side of Bleed just happily farming away, and that's the way they like to play it. You know, Masaros farming, Jackie farming, Makoto farming. Mind you, you do have CDR at the top of the net worth board on the Luna, which I suppose is to be expected. They are going to find Polison now. Polison tries to survive through it, but cannot. Bombi take another kill for himself on the techies. CDR, he might be starting to get to a point where you start to get a little bit concerned if you are Bleed Esports.
Yeah, his output's definitely reaching up there. He's got the protection with the BKB up. The big tool for Bleed now is this Ags on Mikado. A really nice early Ags. A lot of teamfight control coming in with Torrent Storm if they find this opportunity. Still Neon, find Masaros.
Yeah, they certainly do. Masaros being chased down as well. Castaway still in a bit of danger in that mid lane. Will be able to back his way out. Bombi was rotating in case they needed to help him out anyway. Bleed, they are certainly very aggressive right now, having a look around, seeing if they can find themselves more targets. Up toward the top lane, they'll run right into Ken, but Ken, already backing his way out, should be just fine, though Makoto will get the X off. Ken does have to simulate, so oh, he barely avoids it. That was a little bit too close for comfort there for Ken. But he is alright.
Yeah, forces out at least one ultimate. Not the longest cooldown for Makoto to care about. Again, they've still got this clump up, ready for a little bit of a shove in with a siege creep. Not going to make the same mistake as last time for fully committing, but they do have the forward vision to watch this backline. Although the sentry should be spotting that ward. Ken should be able to take care of it now. But no one from Neon actually moving in just yet, waiting for that commitment. Tower is still set to fall. Lots of time in the Aegis for Jackie. And Neon just using what they can on the map while that's happening. They recognize the threat of the clump up with Aegis, and they did spot out the Ags of Mikado. So at this point, Torrent Storm shouldn't be a major surprise. Still a smoke angle here by JG and Bombi.
Masaros getting caught in the arena, but a nice juke on the spear will be just fine for now. Castaway will rotate it as well, but Masaros, he's actually a pretty tanky target. He'll go for the time walk. Meanwhile, DJ in danger. So is Jackie, dropping really low. He's out of range now. Jackie's gone. That is the first life. Can they get him a second time? EJ does drop. They want that life stealer though. Jackie just getting annihilated. CDR takes him out. Makoto's up next to the chopping block. Neon going for a bit more. Would love the Kunkka. They'll miss out on Masaros, but it won't matter if they can find Makoto. And they will. Makoto's gone. Oh boy, Bleed losing 3 heroes, 2 of which were cores. And Neon Esports, they lost nothing.
That is just a ridiculous fight for Neon to find an angle into. You know, right before that fight broke out, there were like 4 or 5 heroes clumped around that tier 2. All of a sudden, they split off one by one, and that's when Neon comes in with a smoke. Isolate Masaros first, then cut off Jackie. They 2-on-1 CDR, but he has that BKB. He doesn't care either. When he is being jumped, and he has that durability from the Moonglaves on the Shard. So just running up as a lifestealer isn't the easiest solution, or is it a safe solution for Jackie in a vacuum here? Bleed, they just dropped that good position they had. They dropped their clumped up position, which could have been a lot better. Like if Makoto was closer to that fight and got Torrent Storm off earlier, maybe it wouldn't have ended up that way, but the response was just, again, a little bit delayed from Bleed here.
Yeah, pretty rough affair. Bottom lane, Ken get caught. Again, does have Dissimulate. Does have Astral Step charges, though Jackie is going to find him. He does get one hit off on Ken. Ken trying for the TP play out. Oh, he's not going to make it. The Gleipnir from Masaros making it just in the nick of time. Lead Esports finding a very important kill there on the Void Spirit. Maybe even finding another very, very soon, because Bombi has been caught out here by DJ. Yaki will rush up for an easy kill, though Bombi will blast off towards the tier 2 tower. It seems as though he is going to be fine. Meanwhile, mid JG also being caught, but he will go for the TP play away.
What?
Wow.
Hornstorm didn't
Wow,
connect?
it just doesn't hit him.
That's unbelievable. What's the statistical probability of that?
Oh, JG, go buy a lottery ticket, mate. I think it's your lucky day, sir.
I mean, you know, you play a game against a Kunkka Ag, you're like, oh god, every torrent's hitting. And that one, right in the middle, just doesn't connect. GG.
All skill by JG. He knew. All skill.
Yeah, he calculated the probabilities of being torrented right there. And he knew.
It's just the core diff, John. Just the core diff. You do.
That core diff right now for Bleed and Neon, not too high. Again, most of this gold is just on Chidori. Everyone else on Bleed is still getting decent farm, but key timings coming out now for Neon. Ags fully done on Ken. That AoE silence is going to cause havoc. Jackie has no form of self-dispel on hand. They don't have anything like a Lotus Orb on hand as well to try to help him out. So this jump in from Ken is going to be the big way of opening up these engagements now for the side of Neon. You just need to be able to find some angles. I think the one shortcoming for Neon, as we've seen pretty much in all of their games, not just this game, their games yesterday as well, their vision isn't as impressive this time around. Again, they don't have too many forward wards to fully spot out these flanks onto Bleed. So the smoke's not going to pan out to too much, but sometimes they just catch one off guard from Bleed, and turns out right. This time around, not going to be there.
We are going to have a quick pause as well. Looks like DJ needs a second. Makoto, in fact, is the one to disconnect here. Still a very close game. I mean, it's currently 71% chance of a win here against, or at least for Neon. We're going to see this again, are we? The Chen with his buddy. What is that?
No, I don't know. I don't want to know. It's an abomination. And then you have the troll priest right in front as well. The hill troll right there.
That's a priest, is it? I mean, that's a kind of priest that makes you go against religion, Jonathan. I feel like it's an interesting priest.
Is it a priest? I don't know. I just assume. Yeah, it's the hill troll berserker.
It's a berserker.
It's the berserker. Okay. Yeah.
That makes more sense.
But he hang around with a priest. I guess that's the kind of company the priest keeps, Mike.
Yeah.
A berserker.
Yeah, well, that's it. Sounds about right. So 7 to 12. Again, 1k net worth lead the way of Neon. They are about 71% chance win probability here against Bleed Esports, so it is their game to currently lose. The Bleed do not look weak by any stretch of the imagination. I think it's mostly the fact that CDR is just kind of farming out of control now. But once you get the butterfly up on the Luna, it does start to feel quite ugly for Jack. Because he's nowhere near having an MKB yet. He wants a BKB first, in fact.
He has to have a BKB. He needs that self-dispel up against the Ags of Ken. There's just no two ways about it. No one's close enough to buy out the Lotus Orb as well. So he needs to be able to sustain through. And just be able to run around, pass his spells, rage up afterwards as well. That prolonged spell immunity, or debuff immunity, could cause some issues here for Neon. Again, the drawn-out fight is where Bleed is strongest. They've got that boat buff. They've got a lot of sustain on the Lifestealer. They've got the Hand of God to play with. They can win out on longer fights, but I think the big issue is that CDR can last long as well. It's just these Moonglaive shards with some lifesteal. Like, this hero is so hard to kill, especially for melee cores like that Lifestealer. Honestly, almost feels like Masaros has to be able to somehow get his damage in too to compensate for how much these Moonglaives are going to be giving. Because last time Chidori got jumped, it was both DJ and Jackie on top. It's two heroes. You're giving him free lifesteal, free damage coming out with his Moonglaives active.
Yeah, it's pretty rough for Massa as well, because he's trying to just get the backlines. He's trying to find Castaway. He's trying to find Bombi with the Gleipnir out. Even Ken just trying to lock him down to the Void Spirit, but it's just... It really does start to feel as though you do need both these guys hitting CDR on the Luna to really give enough damage to finish off this Luna. But even then, I don't know if it's enough. Like, with the amount of lifesteal she's got, it is pretty challenging to imagine that you're going to have enough damage to actually burst her down with the rest of the team behind her. We shall see.
Illusion.
It's about 26 minutes into the game. Seems as though Bleed Esports are going to be looking for the next Roshan attempt. Neon Esports, on the other hand, more than happy to just keep the farm game going. They are not in any kind of rush to try for Roshan.
They can just kind of hold on here. Good read on the ward being dropped down on their jungle area. Should be able to get a D ward down the line with the pings coming out there. Well, Butterfly that we were talking about is up and running on CDR. So his damage output is just insane right now. I love this. He's just going for full on. Just the basic right click Luna with emphasis on the Lucent Beam, so it could lead into the Conda build still. And Conda just gives way too much. You know, free crit on the same slot with the nice amp on your single target spell. Luna has a really good spammable 4-second spell and Lucent Beam. And again, you don't have to worry about morphling this game, so Conda build up would feel pretty nice here.
Gonna play DJ. Nice pick up there from Ken.
You see little of
Vision around that area to ensure they do see the bounty, and Ken just very well aware that DJ was hanging about that position. Well, CDR in the meantime, he'll just take the top tier 2 tower. There's just not much in the way of stopping him. Bleed Esports not interested whatsoever in trying to stop this.
Top tower has fallen.
Neon, they'll just continue casually taking over this Radiant Triangle as Bleed. You trying to find a way to fight back as JG does get caught for a second but just drops the arena and walks away. They can't do much about it. Just a nice defensive arena and that's it.
It's not the longest spell to commit here on Neon, considering that they're not really looking for these bigger fights anyway. Just trying to build that farm up. Bleed, I think with this kind of lineup, does feel like you haven't gotten enough from your bounty hunter, and I think this is one thing when you are playing bounty. It's that you really need to snowball off these track kills. They found a couple. It's just not enough to really get ahead for sure. DJ
kind of baiting in for the Wisdom Rune. CDR, they're going to go for the Eclipse onto Masaros. Masaros forced to back away as Jackie now trying to go onto the Luna, but she's fine.
The X? The X?
The X is there, but it's not going to be enough. This Bombi does go down, so they do find something for that huge rotation, but as for CDR, he is okay.
Does manage to bail out a little, like only a second before the X was going to expire, like maybe
Correct.
a second, half a second. That's the one risky thing now with TP outs and BKBs in the middle, because it doesn't make you untargetable from magic spells. With the debuff lingering, it is pretty scary in some situations like that. They don't lose as much as they'd expect on Neon. Bleed trying to capitalize with the smoke into this Roshan here.
They really started though. They've kind of wait for Neon to start this Roshan, I feel. He's going to lock down Ken. Ken's pretty fine here. He's just happy to kind of dance around the side of Bleed Esports. They will commit the actual step charge now. Catching Masaros with an Aether Remnant. The Massa wants to keep going. CDR now. He does get caught by a boat. This could be a big one. The Luna is gone. Oh, Bleed. They actually find CDR. He was not able to get any hits in. And now Castaway's been caught out as well. Castaway trying for the TP play out, but will not make it. Jackie will take him down. CDR, he was just perma-stunned. They couldn't do anything about it.
It goes back to that BKB TP play. I'm surprised he opted to join his team in that precise moment. Up front as well, very far forward on that Luna, right beside Ken. He gets punished for not having that spell immunity. Second Roche going the way of Bleed. Nice big take for them once more to take control of this game. And with that, they can start to threaten these other outer towers. Instant TPs away, repairing the lanes where they can. But these tier 2s are not safe in this window. Even the cheese being up in Masa makes him an even tougher target to pin down. Already have to worry about the time lapse. With the cheese on hand, not an easy target. Neon, they have to coordinate a little bit better. Again, that was a good read on that opportunity. They got a good read that Roche was going to happen, but they need to be a little bit more patient, wait for the BKB. They rush in with Ken, and sure, he cops quite a few of the initial spells, but when Ken jumped back, he jumped right into CDR. Again, without the BKB, this Luna still a little bit of a sitting duck, despite that Moonglave's active.
Absolutely, CDR just definitely needs the BKB to be able to play very aggressively as Ken. Picking on Masaros. He is X'd up. Will get hit by a torrent. Ken still has an astral step charge. Should be okay. And Jackie's going to show up now. Ken still playing on edge. Meanwhile, towards the south, Castaway has been caught here by DJ and Paulison. He's still trying to go for a run himself. Meanwhile, Ken jumps back in, but Ken, he's dropping very low. He'll be able to dissimulate away for now, though. Meanwhile, CDR also caught out. Still has the BKB available. He'll drop the Eclipse on Jackie. Jackie, though, happy to just kind of tank through it for now, but not for long. Jackie, he's gone. That's the Aegis down. Makoto, in the meantime, he will drop to boot. And it's Jackie against the world now, but he's just got not enough. He'll go for the run for the Infest play, but it is not going to be it. Neon Esports able to punish in a very prolonged team fight. And Bleed, it feels as though if they can't get the jump on this Luna, it's not worth the fight.
That's off the back of JG finding that arena to split off that fight. JG and Castaway dragging that attention away from that secret shop area, splitting up the fight quite nicely and forcing the Hand of God a lot earlier than you'd want here on Bleed, so the sustain doesn't come in for the big cores that need it. We're trying to heal more so DJ and whoever else was caught in that arena, which wasn't the ideal circumstance. With that win over the Aegis, I mean, high ground with Luna. And we've seen this all day yesterday. It doesn't take too long to melt these objectives now.
Oh, it absolutely does not. That tier 3 tower, it is going down. Neon Esports really proving that they might just be a powerhouse here in this new year of Dota 2. Without the DP Siege on, there's nothing holding them back apparently. And this is what they wanted. They want the close qualifiers.
That's where we used to see Neon shine.
Oh,
See,
JG!
JG!
What an arena! He found a double spear out of that! Oh,
my God.
JG! What a stun out! They only take down Makoto, but with that, they can go for another Rax.
Nothing holding them back. It's the threat of Torn Storm, the boat durability gone, nothing to worry about. Open access here for CDR. He has his BKB off cooldown as well, and he has a Daedalus flying in. Jackie.
Gonna jump in, Ken. Ken's a big target, Jackie. He's trying desperately to protect that tier 3 tower. Keep in mind, BKB's up on CDR, so it's very hard to deal with the Luna, which he's got that available. As they jump in again, Jackie force the BKB up. Not feeling safe. Eclipse will be dropped. They'll go after DJ instead. Jackie's still manning up, trying to deal with JG, but JG's perfectly fine. He can just walk away. Jackie, I think he's gone too far. He might just be gone, and he is. He is down, but he might buy back. He does have it available. They are 2 Raxes down. Neon in the meantime looking to retreat. CDR. Are they going to really leave him behind? I don't know about this. CDR dropping quite low. Massaros on the chase. They seem like they may not have enough as buyback is going to be out. JG, just in case they need it, does TP back towards his team. They're even going to find a damage amp rune here for CDR now. And only 1 Rax is left standing. All Bleed Esports and Neon. Yes, they have to deal with the tier 2 bottom tower, but once they've dealt with that, the Rax is open for them.
And you really have to appreciate that aggression on Neon. Every single time you give a small opening, they will jump on it. JG proving time and time again
this guy's so
what a
good.
beast he is in the off lane. Like, it's his
He's
Mars
so
today, it was his Magnus yesterday. Just insane. Insane player. And it's funny, you know, when you think about that classic Neon you were mentioning with Yopaj Scam, it also had Play Hard Zhao, and guess what? JG was in that roster as well. All the way back.
He certainly was. Yeah, this is what I've always appreciated about Neon Esports. They get a roster, they trust the players will get better, and they stick with it. Even if it means a couple of years of just being non-existent in the city. Right? And now you're starting to see that slowly pay off now with this roster of theirs and the players they have tried to kind of scale up over time. And I'll tell you what, John, these players look fantastic, but the shining kind of light here for Neon Esports, if they were to win close qualifiers today, has to be JG. I mean, this guy, he's just been popping off every game we see.
And he has. It's just been that stable foundation, stable rock. Him and Ken, I want to say, and Bombi. It's like this trio. But JG definitely has had so many moments in these matches. They're going to be able to find this tier 2 bleed. And they lost that fight with Aegis earlier on. They're going to be stuck on a high ground defense. The one shining light is high ground defense with Torrent Storm and Ghost Ship, and proper usage is devastating. So they just have to find that angle here. But Neon aren't relenting.
Well, they are certainly not. If you get a tidal wave drag back on Ken, Ken's a tanky boy. Jackie's going to be so careful. They just dropped the Eclipse immediately onto the Lifestealer. CDR, he just wants the racks. He does not care for the team fight nor the kills. He'll find at least one barracks and he finds a second. Now the arena down. GG,
Jackie?
he found Paulison already. Meanwhile, Jackie's gone. Jackie is down another time. No buyback available. It is time to call it, I think. But they will continue trying to defend. They do find Bombi, but the tier 4 towers. The tier 4 towers just melted the damage of CDR. Current Storm out, they'll try to lag this out a little bit more. But Neon, they are just relentless onto this Ancient. They are not stopping. Makoto's been jumped, Ken will take him out. And that's it, GG well played his call. Neon Esports, another game 1 victory here in the upper bracket of the ESL One Birmingham qualifiers for SCA. John, it can't be my fault. These guys they're meant to be the underdogs, John. And I'll tell you.